What up, gang? Carolina Jackpot time coming at you. It is Saturday evening. It's a little past 6 p.m. I'm going to cut right to the chase. I am no longer supporting the South Carolina Gamecock baseball program until head coach Mark Kingston is fired. Now, you can race down to the comment section and tell me that I'm not a true fan. This is the same thing you did with football a few years ago and you were back the next week. You don't get a chance to keep doing this. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. It is absolutely insane that this guy was kept on board after 2022 when he failed to make a regional for the second time since 2018, which was his first year. He is absolutely the shits. He's the fucking shits. This guy is probably the most hated coach that we've had in our repertoire since Will Muschamp. He's pretty close to Muschamp, and I mean, they're almost a tie right now because both of them seem to have a very lackadaisical give-up attitude, which is what Muschamp had in 2020. The writing was on the wall. You could see that Will was getting fired a few weeks before it ever happened. It wasn't a question of, was it going to happen? It was a question of, when is it going to happen? And things with the baseball team didn't really look like that just about a month ago. And you were winning series against Vanderbilt. You'd won a series against Kentucky. You'd won a series at Florida, which Florida's not very good this year, but still, it's been a place that the Gamecocks haven't had a lot of success. The past 2 weeks, however, you've just went out and shown absolutely no guts, no hustle, no fight, no skills. It's been awful, and it's been painful to watch. Today, the team looked like it had given up. They lose 4-1 to Tennessee in Lindsey Nelson Stadium. And, yeah, I mean, it makes it a little bit worse that they got swept by that bunch of pompous-ass, loud-mouth, mouth-breathing, hillbilly, nutsack-dragging pieces of shit. But reality is reality. They're ranked number one in the nation, so I guess you can take a little bit of solace in the fact that, well, you did get swept by the number one team in the nation, but still, even a mediocre team should have been able to win one out of the three, especially with a series going into, well, which was the last week of the season. I mean, they had some stuff on the line. I believe they're the SEC champs now, if I'm not mistaken. Regular season-wise, anyway. I'm pretty sure that they are, because they beat Kentucky in their series. They'll go to Hoover for the SEC baseball tournament. And I know, is this another conference tournament that don't mean nothing? It don't mean nothing. But Tennessee's clearly the best team in the nation. They are just absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. Georgia tore the cover off the ball against the Gamecocks last week. However, Georgia just kind of recently started doing that. Tennessee's been doing it all year long. Look, I'm not taking anything away from Tennessee. They're a really, really good baseball program. I get that. But the way that they lost just really pissed me off because you were ahead. You had leads in the first two games, and then you gave them up. Now, the first game, it was a very short lead. You were up 1-0, but you still let them come back and just donkey slap you in the nuts. And then Friday night's game was especially painful. 3-0. You're shutting them out through 5 innings. You give up the fifth home run to this. What did this one kid, Moore, I think is his name? You give up a grand slam, and I saw it. I saw it coming. I said, I bet you're going to give up a grand slam here. And I'll be damned if they didn't. The program has fallen so far in the past, 13 years, 12 years? It's barely recognizable from what it was. You won the College World Series in 2010 and 2011, runner-up in 2012. I mean, I don't think you're ever going to get back to those days. I mean, it used to not matter how bad the football team was, how mediocre the baseball or the basketball team was. We always had baseball. We could always hang our head on baseball. June Reigns in my fandom had success in the College World Series for Carolina. Ray Tanner obviously had a lot of success in the College World Series for Carolina. Chad Holbrook was a dud, couldn't even make it. He was better than this jamoke, though. This guy hasn't made it to the regional 2 years out of the 7 that he's been, or the 6 that he's been the head coach in Columbia. So, you don't count 2020 because they didn't have one, but they've got to part company. If they don't, I mean, you're going to lose the fan base that you have. And before you also get down in the section and type about, nobody cares about baseball, we're ready for football season to start. No, I actually do care about baseball. I care about all those sports. I'm not as passionate about them as I am with football. I want to see them be successful. I mean, holy shit. I mean, but getting swept 2 series in a row, it doesn't matter that they're good teams. It doesn't matter that they're good teams. You should be able to salvage something out of those series. Even salvaging something out of them is not enough. You should have won 2 or 3 from Georgia. You should have beaten them at home and won 2 or 3 from them, but you didn't. So that lets me know that the Vanderbilt series win, the Kentucky series win, the Florida one, all of those were flukes. They were farces, and that you are really just not very good. You got a good roster, but you got piss poor coaching. You have piss poor motivation. The most fire that I saw out of Mark Kingston was back during that Kentucky series when I saw him get tossed. I was like, man, this guy might actually have a little bit of shit to him, and he might care a little bit. Maybe we should just laugh him. But the past 2 weeks kind of reaffirmed what I already knew. This is a dead man walking, and if they don't cut his strings loose, you're not only going to lose me and my support, you're going to lose the support of a lot of folks out there, because we are all tired of it. I'll see you guys later on. Appreciate it, though. Peace, and I'm out of here. Still, go Gamecocks. Woo!